Good morning, Floss Tube. It's Julie with Reflections Framing and Stitching. Today is Thursday. It is the 11th of June. And this is Chart of the Day video number, let's see, yesterday was 47, so 48. How are you today? I'm good. You can see I went and got my bangs cut last night, and she cut them a little bit short. That's what I get for saying that we left them a little too long last time. So somewhere in between would be nice, but the good thing about hair is it will grow. Unless, of course, you're Dan, as he said this morning when we were discussing that my bangs were a little short. I said, well, it's all right, it'll grow. And he said, yeah, unless you don't have any hair. That would be the bald man talking. So yeah, got them cut. Feels better. I had a bulky spot I think I mentioned the other day. She took care of that, so I'm good. I'm good. Well, so how are you? Okay. I'm glad to hear you're doing well. Yesterday's question about DNA was interesting. Lots of you have had yours tested. I was surprised at the number that didn't. And I can see both sides of it. I can see people wanting to know, and I can see people not wanting to know. Because in this day and age, you just never know what you're going to find. But it was interesting. I enjoyed it. So thank you for responding. Not a lot of people did. So, I mean, I think there were only like 35 comments. So not a lot of people answered yesterday. Today, the question the chart of the day is an older one. It's a sampler. It's a red sampler from Queenstown Samplers. It's called Mercedes. I'm going to guess on the last name, Mercedes Ospina, 1863. It's about, it came out like I think in 2015. But I think it's a very pretty red sampler. Didn't get a lot of notice in the shop when it came out. But love this in the middle. It's got a nice boat over here. Yeah, I like the letters. I think it's really pretty. Size-wise, she's, I think, fairly large. It's called to be stitched on 32 count with 2 strands. Uses 2 colors of red. The lower bands are worked in the 498 DMC. So I would imagine that's this down here. I haven't really looked at the chart, my bad. The upper part is done in, looks like you need 17 skeins of the Gentle Arts Schoolhouse Red. So those 2 colors look like this. Not sure why the 2. It does say if you want to use all Schoolhouse Red, you purchase 18 of these. Says any level sampler enthusiast would enjoy it, so that must mean there's not any over 1. Let me see. There are some different stitches in here. There's back stitch, cross stitch, double running, eyelet, satin, and single chain or lazy daisy. They're all pretty easy. And the design area is 306 stitches by 314, so she is pretty big. Let's see. Anything else it says? I find it interesting that, I'm going to guess all those interesting stitches are in this bottom, the bottom half. The top half is just all cross stitches. So, don't know if there's an informational, okay. There is a stitch diagram, so that's good. And there is a history of who Mercedes was, so you get all that information. The chart looks really nice, nice and large, easy to read. So it would be a very fun stitch. As far as fabric goes, I don't know that it said a particular, Lakeside Linens Exemplar in 32 count. I did not pull Exemplar. I have some other choices here, so we'll just look at those. You could do the full sampler in just one color. My particular favorite, all-time favorite red is a silk. It's a Gloriana silk, and it's called Poinsettia. Has nice variegation in it. I'm going to show it to you on just a cream. So there's just a cream. It's a little spendy at $8 a skein, but it's so beautiful when it's stitched with. Just gorgeous. Here's your other two. These have a little more pink in them than the Gloriana does. But on my screen they look pretty similar, but they're not. Other choices of fabric that you could use. I just pulled some Aida, because yes, you Aida stitchers, you can stitch a sampler. I know some people think you can't, but certainly you can. This is platinum, 16 count platinum Aida. The reds look good on there. Also, the closest I could come to the Gloriana red that I like would be Cupid from Classic Colorworks, which would cut your price down a little bit. It's a pretty red too. This would be Legacy in a 16 count. And it would look good on there. But what if, just imagine if you will, you don't want to do a red sampler, you want to do a different color sampler. You can. There's no rule that says you can't use another color. So what if you're a blue person and you want to do a blue sampler? I just chose Michael's Navy, which is a very pretty blue. This is Flax. It would be very pretty on there. This is Nantucket Brew, 36 count Nantucket Brew. That would be pretty. It's a kind of a darker gray. This particular piece has a little more brown in it. The rest that's in the bag, it doesn't have quite as much brown to it, but either would be pretty. And then I pulled 40 count Vintage Misty Rain from Lakeside Linens, which is beautiful, beautiful blue. I don't know if you can really see how blue it is. I don't have anything really to show you, but it is a beautiful blue and would make for a very pretty sampler. And then just for shits and giggles, my favorite purpley color in DMC is 154. I have always loved that color, even though I mean, purple is fine, but I don't decorate in it, and it's not, I'm more of a red person myself. But let's say you like purple or purpley colors and want to do something that's not a traditional looking sampler. So going back to my 40 count Jamie's Kilt, It's got purples in it. Can you see that right up there? There you can see that. The purples, the greens, the blue grays. And if you put that on there, it would be really pretty. Definitely not a traditional looking sampler, but it would really be pretty. So that's what I have for you today. Like I said, it is one of my, I have that particular design in my stash at home. I haven't stitched it yet. Hopefully someday. Otherwise, it'll just be part of my personal collection. So I hope you enjoyed it and got some ideas of different fabrics and colors that you could use other than the called for red. Today's question of the day has to do with the upcoming holiday, 4th of July. We're still planning on going up to the Sandhills. I do have to contact the lodge that we rented. We rented it a year ago. A lot has changed in the last year, so I need to email them and ask them, are they even open for business? For all I know, they've lost the reservation because I haven't heard a peep out of them since then. So I've got to contact them, but we are still planning to go up to the Sandhills for the 4th. I absolutely hate being here in Omaha for the 4th of July. The noise level is just incredible anymore, and it always looks like a war zone in our neighborhood. I mean, literally, you can't see across the street from the smoke that's hanging in the air. It's hard on the dogs. So we have always enjoyed going to Stuart for the 4th of July. I don't know if at this point they have not canceled any of the activities, but I don't know how many of them we will plan to do. But my question of the day today is, do you like fireworks? I do enjoy fireworks. I do not like the big ones that go boom. I don't like them for 3 weeks ahead of time. It's okay, Lori. Good morning. Don't like the fireworks 3 weeks ahead of time. I don't like them after the 4th of July. I don't mind a day before, possibly the day after, for a short period of time, not until 2 o'clock in the morning. And again, I absolutely hate the big booms. It's hard on people with PTSD, and it's very hard on animals. So I prefer a short burst and ending at a decent time of the day, because some people do have to work. Yes, it's going to be on a Saturday, but some people still have to work on Sunday. So that's my question. Do you like fireworks? Do you not? Do you set fireworks off yourself, or do you go and watch someone else's display? We usually go up to the cemetery in Stuart, and because it's up on a hill and it's away from the crowd. At one point, we used to be down in the city park, and then they started shooting bottle rockets at, the people in the crowd were shooting bottle rockets at other people, and we had little kids at the time, and I said no. So we started going up to the cemetery and sitting up there on the hill and watching from a distance. It also mutes those big, those big ones that go up and just make the big loud boom and a bright flash of light. To me, that's not a firework. I like the ones that are real pretty, go up, make the starburst, and you go ooh and ah. So that's my feelings on the 4th of July. Don't know how much we'll do. Don't think we'll hit the rodeo this year. Don't think we'll hit the stock car races. I technically have not been to the stock car races since I was a teenager, and a car came over the fence at me. That kind of did me in. But Adam really enjoys going, and Marcia has never been and wants to go. But Adam's not sure he feels comfortable. We will probably do the parade because it's outdoors. There's a street dance usually. There's usually all kinds of activities in the park during the day on the 4th. There is cruise night. Adam has participated in that a couple of times. He's driven the girls around. So there's a lot of activities for a small town of 500, and we enjoy it greatly. So we'll light our own fireworks off afterwards, probably, or the night before, one of the two. I don't think the little girls could do 2 nights of being up late, so probably the night before we'll set off some fireworks out at the lodge, but otherwise we'll go see the display in town. So yeah, tell me about your 4th of July. Tell me whether you like fireworks, not like fireworks. Growing up, when all the cousins were there, we had a couple of pyromaniacs in our group, and it was always fun watching them light them off. So good times, good times. I'm gonna let you go now. You take care till next time. Get some stitching done, and I should see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.